Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Lee receives the paternity test results after Carter rehires Steffi at Forrester Creations. Steffi reassures her family at the Forrester mansion that her plan will succeed. Ridge inquires as to if she persuaded the CEO. Steffi claims that Brooke and Hope will present a challenge, but she is unconcerned. It's an uphill battle, in Eric's opinion. Steffi is aware that they are not gullible and are attempting to ascertain her motivation. She must think she has persuaded them. This is not how we can end. We own Forrester Creations, and I plan to reclaim it. Brooke, Hope, and Carter debate whether or not to bring Steffi back at Forrester. Hope gripes about her actions prior to her departure. How can we have faith in her? Carter reminds them that he requested that Ridge and Steffi remain. How can he say no after she has changed her mind? Brooke asserts that he is correct and that they are unable to stop her from returning. Since Carter is the LLC's manager, Hope believes he can. Steffi may throw his plans for a loop. Lee removes a portion of Tom Starr's liver from the hospital and places it in a petri dish. She looks at it under a microscope and thinks, "Are you Luna's father, Tom Starr?" Luna reads Great Expectations at Bill's house and then puts it down, saying, "So predictable." Before she can even lay down to nap on the sofa, Bill comes running in and informs her that Will is at the gate. He begs her to move it since he can't see you, so she quickly leaves the living room and hides. Bill excitedly welcomes Will as he enters. Is the foyer where he usually hangs out? Will asks. It's strange. He says, "Is everything okay with you, Dad?" with a smile. To what do I owe the pleasure? Bill asks his son to sit down, and Will responds that Liam has been working from home a lot. Being gone from his office is not typical of him. He says he's digesting something that happened in the past few months after noticing the books on the coffee table. Bill says he's okay and jokes that he sounds like his mother. All well, Will says, but what about Luna? Bill assures his kid that he need not mention her. Will is aware that it had an impact on him because he was thrilled to have a daughter. Can you imagine having to handle all that right now? I'm glad that wasn't the case, he says. Bill informs Will that he doesn't have to mention her. I will never have to consider Luna again. Lee picks up a vial of blood and holds it in her palm after calling the lab at the hospital for her paternity test. She later puts on her gloves and comes back to the office carrying a box marked DNA test kit. Lee performs the DNA test using a blood sample and a liver swab. Carter, Brooke, and Hope are still debating if Steffi is trustworthy at Forrester. Although Brooke is unsure, she believes they ought to give her an opportunity to establish her worth. Perhaps she will persuade the others to come back too. Hope asks her mother, knowing she's referring about Ridge. Brooke tries to convince Carter that they should give Steffi a chance. He calls Steffi to let her know they would like her to visit Forrester. Steffi breaks off contact with Carter at the mansion and tells Ridge and Eric, "They want to see me." She is certain that they wouldn't ask to see her if they said no. Eric cautions her to exercise caution since he is concerned about what these traitors may be planning. He is reassured by Steffi. She won't allow them to steal his firm. The strength of the Stephanie Forrester genes has slipped their minds. They're in my DNA. Ridge and Eric smile as she leaves. Although he trusts her, Ridge acknowledges that it annoys him to not know what she is up to. He somehow contributed to her upbringing, and she is a force of nature. She's going to do it, Ridge, says Eric. Steffi Forrester is the one person who can save our business. Carter informs Brooke and Hope at Forrester that Steffi will arrive shortly. He's curious about Hope's thoughts. And I trust you. Steffi eventually shows there, and Carter thanks her for returning, even though she doesn't think it's the greatest choice for the business he envisioned. She assumes he has made up his mind and thanks him for taking a look at her offer. Carter responds, "We have." He is aware that she doesn't think his reasons for assuming control were honorable, but they were. He urges her to consider how she previously handled Hope and the Logans, even if he struggles with the fact that he injured her. She humiliated her by firing her. She wants to go back to Forrester, but he can only guess how she feels about him. As president, Steffi nods, admitting it has been a challenging time. Although she dislikes it, she is realistic. The business is too vital to just abandon. Steffi is aware of who controls and has the power, and she is powerless to change it. She doesn't need to be liked and can contribute significantly to the business. She will fulfill her obligations. You are aware of that fact. Is the answer yes or no, Carter? Have we made a deal? They clasp hands and Carter says, "Welcome back, Steffi." He cautions her not to make him regret this. She won't. I feel like this is correct. She will assist in making Forrester whatever it should be. Nothing will stop Steffi from succeeding. B&B Steffi Carter. Will continues his line of inquiry into Luna at Bill's house. Bill assures him that he has moved on from it and is now focused on the future. Will acknowledges that he believed a new woman would enter his life when Liam informed him that he would be taking some time off from work. Lee has a flashback about Luna confessing to her at the hospital. Her gaze dims as she checks the DNA test and murmurs, "The moment of truth," as the timer goes off. What happens to Bill's crazy plan for Luna's typical life? After Luna Nozawa killed 2 people and was about to kill a third when she was apprehended on the CBS serial opera Bold and the Beautiful, Bill Spencer pledged to provide her a regular life. He speaks as though Luna were just a short-term visitor. Fans of B&B, however, believe that a crime like this should prolong her incarceration into old age. To what extent will Bill Spencer's influence be stretched by the Bold and the Beautiful? Viewers of Bold and the Beautiful find it impossible to comprehend how Bill Spencer could provide Luna Nozawa with the regular, healthy life he intends to offer her. How he brought Luna home under house arrest continues to baffle fans. And this is a regular existence now? Bill Spencer, Luna Nozawa, Bold and the Beautiful. Yes, Bold and the Beautiful occasionally deviates from reality. However, how can they fulfill his pledge to push reality as far as they can? Luna Nozawa is depicted by Bill Spencer as running around unhindered. The only way that could occur soon, according to B&B fans, is if the soap opera somehow wiped out everything she has done. It was like a dream that never happened. However, that doesn't seem likely. Furthermore, it is unlikely that they will uncover the true killer and release her. Luna confessed to everything, which is why B&B Luna Nozawa gives Bill an unusual life. Bill tries to provide Luna with a regular existence in Bold and the Beautiful. However, he transformed his life by taking her home. At home, Bill Spencer will have to withdraw somewhat. Now, visitors are dangerous beings. He has repeatedly emphasized to Luna Nozawa that nobody can discover her presence. She nearly ruined everything the first time he had a guest by making a sound while watching them. Bill concealing Luna will probably result in even more turmoil on Bold and the Beautiful. It's conceivable that someone will discover her presence, which would destroy all of Bill's relationships. Therefore, it appears that Bill Spencer could wreck his life while attempting to provide Luna with a regular life, even though he may wish to do so. What plans does Bold and the Beautiful have for Luna? Fans of Bold and the Beautiful express their confusion over this Bill Spencer and Luna Nozawa plotline on the show's website. The publishing tycoon certainly has a lot of money, but how is he going to provide her with the independence of a typical life? He could pretend she died by using the same people that smuggled her out of there in the first place. Perhaps creating a fictitious death report might serve as the starting point. Therefore, fabricating a tale about Luna's death in prison would stop anyone from wanting her to remain inside. Then perhaps he might make plans to move Luna under the witness protection scheme. She is, of course, the mastermind behind terrible crimes rather than a witness. This is Bold and the Beautiful, but the witness protection program does not do that. Nevertheless, Bill may have enough money to set up something similar. Luna Nozawa could remain on the soap opera in this manner since she could sneak back into town when she became bored and lonely. Even if that is unrealistic, there aren't many other options available to Bill Spencer for giving Luna Nozawa her independence and a typical life on this CBS soap opera. Lee conducts another paternity test on Luna while Luna eavesdrops on Will once again, and Carter welcomes Steffi back to Forrester. Carter didn't trust Steffi. Lee was ready to find out if Tom was Luna's father, and Bill informed Luna that she wouldn't be becoming a Spencer. Steffi assures Ridge and Eric that although Brooke and Hope are a barrier, her plan will succeed. They can't go down like this, even if she is certain they will grow tired of her. Her goal is to reclaim Forrester Creations. Carter, Brooke, and Hope discuss whether or not to allow Steffi to return at Forrester. According to Brooke, it would be visually appealing. I agree to receive tailored advertisements and emails. Her kid notes that they can't trust Steffi because she called them derogatory names. When he gave Steffi the position, Carter is unsure of how he could let her go. Hope maintains he has the option to decline. Steffi might cause trouble. Although Brooke is unsure whether they can trust Steffi because of her cunning, they should give her an opportunity to show herself. Her daughter fears that this implies she's also asking Ridge to return. According to Brooke, they must give Steffi a chance. Carter gives Steffi a call to let her know they want her to visit. Steffi pledges to exercise caution in response to Ridge and Eric's advice to be wise, refusing to allow their company be snatched away. The males grin at that. They are certain that Steffi will be the one to save the business. At Forrester, Carter paces with the others. What is Hope thinking? He asks. Although she trusts Steffi, she doesn't think it's the greatest idea to allow him return. He gives a nod. After waiting, Steffi finally arrives, anticipating that they have decided on anything. Carter is aware of how challenging this has been for her. Although he apologizes for the harm he has caused her and the family, he reminds her that she has also lashed out at Brooke and Hope. He has no desire to lead a business that oppresses others. Steffi informs them that she is aware of who is in charge and that she is unable to change it. She offers to be the one to make difficult decisions while abiding by his guidelines. Is there a deal? She asks. He welcomes her back with a hand gesture and begs her not to make him regret this. She asserts that nothing will prevent her from achieving her goals and that she is available to assist. She glances at Hope and Brooke and smiles. Lee combs through Tom's genetic samples at her office and examines them under a microscope. She questions whether he was Luna's biological father. After donning her gloves, she begins working on the paternity test. Until the test beeps, the doctor paces. Picking it up and checking it, she says, moment of truth. Luna switches to the last chapter of Great Expectations at Bill's, gripes because it's predictable, and takes a nap. Declaring that his kid is at the gate and cannot see her, Bill jogs in. She dashes to hide around the corner. When Will walks in, his father gives him a violent hug. His son questions whether he spends all of his time in the entryway. Is everything all right? Bill tells his son that everything is wonderful. According to his kid, Liam informed him that he frequently works from home. He observes that there are books everywhere. He is okay, according to his father, who claims that he has been using Moby Dick to fall asleep. According to his son, he's digesting information. Luna listens to him and grins when he inquires about her. Luna is over, according to Bill. His son asks him how he would have handled things if she had actually been his daughter and reminds him of how thrilled he was to have a daughter. Bill says he doesn't have to think about Luna ever again. Although he respects his son's anxiety, he is looking to the future. His son acknowledges that when he learned he was working from home, he believed he had found a new partner. Bill grins. Although Brooke Logan is no stranger to adversity, she has maintained her optimism through many storms. Despite her difficult personal life, Brooke finds herself holding on to a renewed feeling of optimism as The Bold and the Beautiful spins its most recent complex plot. In the meantime, Bill Spencer and his son will set out on a touching but difficult journey of their own, weaving a story of father-son bonding and forgiveness that stands in stark contrast to the drama around Brooke. Brooke's optimism in the face of chaos. Brooke starts to see a ray of hope after a string of emotional disappointments and tumultuous relationships. Her steadfast faith in her capacity to heal damaged relationships and bring equilibrium back to her life is the source of her optimism, which is not unfounded. She has recently been at the focus of disputes with her daughter, Hope Logan, Annika Noel, Taylor Hayes, Krista Allen, and Ridge Forrester, Torsten K. Brooke, however, sees a chance to unite people and forge a new path. Brooke's belief in destiny, which she has frequently used to characterize her relationship with Ridge, is what drives her optimism. She continues to believe that they are meant to be together in spite of their ups and downs. Recent moments of connection with Ridge, where remnants of their previous link have reappeared, support her conviction. These instances demonstrate to Brooke that their romance is far from gone. Brooke brings her optimistic attitude to her employment at Forrester Creations. Assuming a leadership position inside the organization, she concentrates on encouraging creative thinking and teamwork. She has big plans for the company's future and thinks that by setting an example of positivity, she may encourage others to do the same. Although it can occasionally be divisive, Brooke's leadership style demonstrates her commitment to making a significant difference. Will and Bill, a reconnection story. Bill Spencer sets out on a very personal adventure with his youngest son, Will, while Brooke concentrates on starting over. Bill has always been a legendary character, renowned for his business ruthlessness and ambition. But his career goals have frequently taken precedence over his connection with his kids, especially Will. Bill makes a determined attempt to get back in touch with Will and be the father his son needs after realizing how important it is to put his family first. For Bill, modest but significant actions are the first steps on this journey. He participates in father-son activities, makes time for Will's school functions, and shares personal anecdotes. Will is able to see a new side of his father during these vulnerable moments, one that is considerate, kind, and devoted to their relationship. Will, who has frequently felt eclipsed by his father's exaggerated demeanor, starts to value these endeavors and reacts with affection and zeal. There are difficulties in their developing relationship. Will is negotiating his independence and identity as a teenager, which occasionally causes him to argue with his father. Bill finds it difficult to adjust to this new dynamic because he is used to being in charge. But he understands how crucial it is to allow Will the room he needs to develop and grow from his errors. Their developing connection revolves upon this harmony between direction and autonomy. The point where Brooke and Bill's paths cross. Because of their shared past and shared worry for their families, Brooke and Bill's paths will unavoidably collide. Even though they are no longer romantically involved, they still have a close friendship. Brooke gives Bill words of support and praises his attempts to get back in touch with Will. Bill then turns into a listening ear for Brooke as she works through her own difficulties. They have open and sincere discussions that frequently touch on topics like forgiveness, redemption, and the value of family. Brooke expresses her aspirations for the future, which include restoring her relationship with Ridge and fostering family harmony. Bill offers insightful advice and encouragement based on his personal experiences with forgiveness and redemption. These exchanges show how both characters have developed. Brooke, who has frequently been characterized by her love relationships, exhibits a renewed emphasis on resilience and personal development. Bill, who has come under fire for his conceit and selfishness, shows a greater appreciation for the roles of friend and parent. Obstacles ahead. Even with their advancements, Brooke and Bill still have a lot of challenges. The conflict between Ridge and Taylor continues to be a cause of grief for Brooke. Ridge's hesitancy and lack of commitment make Brooke wonder if her optimism is misguided. Since Taylor is still vying for Ridge's attention and disputing Brooke's claims to their shared past, her presence adds still another level of complexity. Some team members, especially Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and Hope, oppose Brooke's leadership at Forrester Creations. While Hope finds it difficult to balance her personal goals with her mother's vision for the business, Steffi, who is fiercely protective of her family's legacy, challenges Brooke's intentions and choices. Brooke's willpower is put to the test by these disputes, which also make her face hard realities about her leadership style and relationships. The trip with Will has not been easy for Bill at all. He is criticized by those who doubt his capacity to change as he juggles the demands of his corporate empire with his obligations as a father. Bill must adjust and come up with new ways to engage with his son as a result of Will's increasing independence and sporadic disobedience. A snip of hope. Moments of success and camaraderie provide glimmerings of hope among these difficulties. Small triumphs, such as an unanticipated gesture from Ridge, a breakthrough with hope, or a fruitful project at Forrester Creations, are what Brooke views as these moments. Every accomplishment strengthens her conviction that her optimism is genuine and that she can overcome the challenges she faces. Bill's blossoming relationship with Will is a clear indication of the fruits of his labor. Moments of mutual respect, understanding, and laughing between the two demonstrate Bill's dedication to being a better father. Bill is also motivated by these experiences to keep improving himself and his interactions with others. The path ahead. A common goal and a desire to build a better future for themselves and their family bind Brooke and Bill together as they pursue their individual paths. Despite the difficulties they have faced, their tenacity and resolve have not wavered. The path ahead for Brooke is one of self-awareness and peacemaking. She has to face her shortcomings and figure out how to handle the complicated connections she has with Ridge, Hope, and the other members of the Forrester family. Although it is a source of strength, her optimism needs to be balanced with flexibility and realism. The adventure with Will is only getting started for Bill. He has to balance the expectations of everyone around him and the obligations of his work life while he develops their relationship. The success of his endeavors and the legacy he leaves for his son will depend on his capacity to manage these obligations. The tales of Brooke and Bill together demonstrate the value of optimism, tenacity, and the strength of interpersonal relationships. Their experiences serve as a reminder that even in the most hopeless circumstances, there is always the possibility of development, atonement, and love in a world full of drama and strife. Viewers may anticipate seeing these individuals overcome their obstacles and discover their place in a world that is both complex and beautiful as The Bold and the Beautiful develops.